Hey there, YouTube. Today I'm showing you how I added a voltmeter to my Wave Raider 1100. I got this voltmeter for 10 bucks on Amazon, and this power switch for I think it was actually 10 bucks for a pack of 5, but both are waterproof, they say. And what I like about this voltmeter is that, so if you're riding around and you don't see it green, then you know something's wrong with your stator. If I start seeing this battery discharge, I can hightail it back to the shore and don't have to wave my hands in the air and ruin someone's day by having to be towed through a chain of lakes. So I did this at night. I'll just give you the overall gist of how I did it. I'm not going to show myself crimping the ends on stuff and soldering, because if you're going to add a circuit to your jet ski, you should probably know how to solder. So originally I was going to tap into the power for the gauge here. There is a hot and ground going to it. This harness here that has the green, purple, or green, pink, red, and black. Red and black are your positive, negative. Can't remember what the green and purple are. I'll put it on the screen here. But anyway, there is output from the CDI that could turn on an accessory circuit, but it's only like 6 volts, and I didn't want to use a relay or a transistor. So what I did instead, just to make everything easier, and plus with the added bonus so I could have the radio I'm going to install on when the jet ski's off, I just ran a wire directly to the battery. It wasn't that hard because it was, it's a straight shot. It's not like running a wire in a car, but so you need about 10 feet of wire in each color. I didn't share a ground. There's an existing ground up there. I didn't want to share it because I didn't want to affect the CDI at all. And so I just put a straight connection to the ground, a straight connection to the positive. I did fuse the positive. I put a 3-volt fuse on here. Highly recommend fusing it. I got it for like 6 bucks on Amazon. I'll put the link in the description. I ran it through where the rest of the wires go through in the battery box, through a grommet, and then up and around. I didn't have any wire wrap left, so I just have the bare wire shown. I actually ordered some wire wrap for 3 bucks. It's going to be here today, actually, but I just zip tied it temporarily so I could make sure I had enough wire and get her done. You're going to want to put the positive and negative wires that you run through this wrap to prevent chafing if you can. This wrap's really easy to manipulate. You just kind of unscrew it and it loosens up, and you can slide your wire through and then let go and it'll tighten back up on it. Then I ran it up here, being very careful not to interact with the trim or the steering because this pole moves. And then I wrapped it on the non-sharp side of this bracket. These brackets are great for running the wire, but it is sharp on one side and smooth on the other. Then I put a zip tie in this nice little track they give you. It holds the zip tie strong and it holds the wire securely. Then I ran it up to the power switch and the voltmeter here. I actually soldered these connections. I just wrapped it all in tape though to keep water out of it, hopefully. And then I used this tiny, tiny little switch on Amazon. All these parts will be in the description if you want to copy me exactly, but the tiny little switch is only rated for 5 amps, so keep that in mind if you buy that switch. I did this at night, which is the only real time I can work on stuff, so it took me about an hour and a half, which seems like a long time, but when you're soldering, it's kind of tedious. Okay, first things first, we got to figure out how big the hole I need to make is. 28.4. Yep, 28.4. Take my step drill here. Find 28.4. Looks like it's about 1 1/8. So I can't go any deeper than this one. And I'm going to put it right here because there's nothing underneath here and it'll drain really well here. Everyone says to use painter's tape to prevent the gel coat from splintering. I don't know if it does anything, but I'm going to do that. Oh, fiberglass dust. Now I just gotta mount my switch. Cut that a little close to that, but that'll work. All right, now I'm gonna put a very, very small bead of 100% silicone around the voltmeter and power button, not for water intrusion from splashing, but if it flips over, I don't want water coming in through that hole. Alright, and I want to really make sure these are tight, because otherwise the silicone did nothing. Alright, let's go out and I'll show you this thing in action, I guess. Yeah, in the sun it's hard to read.